So do you feel like defenders always know what you're doing before you even put the ball in play? Well, maybe because you're not being deceptive enough. So in this video, what we're going to talk about is how you can be deceptive and be considered sneaky. Come join my live free class on how to build a game-changing triple threat. I teach this class often, so make sure you go down below in the link so that you can sign up for my next class at gamechangers.natashawattley.com/live class. I hope to see you there. You won't want to miss it. As a slapper triple threat, our biggest threat that we possess is our options. So we have an option of hitting away for power, for bunting, slapping, but we want to make sure the biggest key, number one key, is that we keep everything uniform. So if I'm a slap hitter and if I have a power slap, I bounce and I choke up on the bat, I want to make sure that I am staying uniform for all of my different slaps. So one thing that defenders are taught to read, they're taught to read hands and they're taught to read feet. So one thing that we want to make sure that we're doing across the board is that we're keeping everything the same. So if I'm hitting away for power, I want to start in the same place. So if I know that at that I'm going to slap, I don't automatically want to start choked up if I normally choke up. So that's why if I do choke up, we want to start to choke up in the sequence of our steps. It's all preference. So if I'm going to choke up or if I don't choke up, that's all preference, but just making sure that you're staying uniform on all of your different slaps. Another thing to think about is your feet. So we want to be as subtle as we possibly can. So we want to be as subtle as we can in the box, but we want to also be as explosive as we can. So as defenders, we're taught to read feet. So the moment I see that your front leg start to pick up and go all the way back, and you start to close that gap, I'm gonna start to approach forward or start to think about slapping. So if anything, that's why we wanna try to stay tall and narrow and have a subtle move and have all positive moves going towards the field. So the moment I start to pick up and slide back, that's going to be a key giveaway that you're slapping or you're doing something moving through the box. So make sure you stay subtle, and if you can, start as late as you possibly can with your movements with your feet. So that's going to be helpful for being deceptive and not giving away what you're doing towards a defense. So it's important to remember to not tip off a defense, that we want to make sure with our hands that we are keeping it uniform across the board. So whether I'm doing a soft slap, I'm bouncing, doing a hard slap, we want to make sure that if I do choke up on the bat, I do that consistently with all of my slaps, because a defender is going to read that if you do something differently for different slaps. Also with my feet, I want to make sure that I am subtle. I am also being subtle. I'm not stepping all the way back towards the catcher, because that's going to give a defender, she's going to know right away that I'm going into a slap. So along with being subtle with my movements and making sure that I'm being aggressive, I want to make sure that I am busting out of this batter's box as hard as I possibly can while being subtle. So we want to make sure that we are being as deceptive as we can so that we do not tip off the defense. I have a 3-part mini video series on the slapping basics. Make sure you go down in the description below and get your video today. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment below so I know what videos that you would like to see in the future. Make sure you subscribe so that you know when the next video comes out, and I will see you next time.